drugs she'll need tonight. Know that she won't die if she sneezes right. Never wanna talk, pleading all the fights. Wanna take a walk on the other side. Feeling really fly on her feet tonight. Got her something good, now she Jesus Christ. Creeping up on her like she way too high. I'm about to take a walk on the other side. If the people at the party look away.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Dragon Tails Fishing. I just wanted to go over a little hack with you guys. Have you ever been out on the water, and you guys that are the paddlers out there, and when you're paddling, even with these drip rings, you still get water on you, it still drips on you? Well, I found a little hack that will not completely get rid of it, but it will definitely help with this D-ring catching the water that's on the surface area of the paddle. So let me explain something really quick. So you have the surface area of your paddle, and when you're going down and you're digging into that water, what happens is you tend to curve up, which leaves the water on the surface area of the paddle. What happens is when you lift up, that water that's accumulated on here starts to get a little heavy and then drips down to the drip ring. Some of the water actually drips off the side, which is why you're still getting wet. Okay, so this trick right here will help with allowing that water to come off the surface area of the paddle before you get to the upper arc of your paddle. So what is that? Well, I'll tell you right now. So that simple hack is just spray wax. I use the spray wax on the paddle, on the surface area of the paddle before I go out. And what that does is it creates a barrier that the water cannot actually get into the pores of the plastic. Even though it looks smooth, it's not. There's little pits and rivets. If I was to take a microscope to this, there's many little nooks and crannies in this. What the wax does is it creates another barrier in between that so that the water can't accumulate on the surface area of the paddle. So I'm going to go ahead and try to demonstrate that the best I can for you. I'm not very good with the camera yet, so bear with me, but check it out. So you can see here I got my paddle totally dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dunk it in the water and just kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I dunk it in, I bring it up. If you look, you see all that water that's right there? I don't know if you could see that in the camera. That water is built up. So even if I do my stroke up, as you can see, that water is still there on the surface area of the paddle. So how do I fix that? You can see it's on both sides. I don't know if you can see that there. I'm trying to get the best picture I can. Okay. So the way I fix that is I make sure that the surface area is fully dry. Make sure there's no sand or debris or anything on it like that. And then I just take a simple coat of it. And then I just rub it in. Just like so. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Make sure she's nice and in there really good. And then I'll just let her set up. All right, so I took this paddle right here as well. I just wanted to show you a difference between one side and the other. So this side right here is uncoated. This side right here is the coated side. You can see it's kind of got a little milky finish to it. That's your wax. It's on the surface area of the paddle. I've got it on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little hose here, set it on mist and just show you. Okay, notice how that water is just kind of beating off, but it's still kind of holding on. Now watch this side. See, no water drip off, because the water just comes right off. See that? You see there, look at all that water that's beating on that. All that water that's beating on there, it stays on there. As you're lifting the paddle up, you can see it starting to drip off. Okay, the other side, same thing, it's still wet. You can see there's no water on it because the water's already dripped off the surface of the paddle. So when you go to lift up, there's no water for it to actually drip off. This side's the same thing, I still got it on here, and you can see the water still dripping off. That's the uncoated side. The water's still on the surface area of the blade, which what happens is, just like any rain or any water, when it gets all together clumped up, it creates bigger drops get heavy, and then the surface area is slick, and then the water drips off the blade of the paddle, which then comes down and catches onto your drip ring here, and some of that is caught. And then when you come back down again, it spills it out. Well, what this coating does is it just kind of helps keep the blade from having more water on it than you need to. Yes, it's going to still get wet. You're still going to get wet, so I'm not saying you're not going to get wet. What I'm saying is it's going to help with keeping you dry on the water. So yeah. All right, so I showed you guys how to apply a spray wax onto your paddle blades. That works very well. If you do it every couple times you go out, it'll actually build up a layer, and the more you put on here, the better it will get. The liquid wax will come off a little bit, but the best thing about it is if you try to use like a surf wax, which I've seen a lot of guys use videos on, this builds up and clumps onto the blade of the paddle. And what happens is, especially for you guys that fish in the salt water, you're in a salty environment where there's a lot of sand and stuff like that. It'll start building up and caking up onto your paddle blade. Well, then your paddle blade looks like crap because you got dirt and crap all over it. Well, what's nice about this is it puts a very thin layer, a thin coating on it, and it gets into those nooks and crannies of the paddle blade. So that makes it a little bit better for you. So yeah, once again, I wanted to thank you guys for watching my video. I also want to give a shout out to Skinny Water Lures. It's a local company that I own with a partner of mine. We do these paddle tails. We also have our 4-inch shrimp bait that we're going to be launching soon, so check that out. Once again, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's something that you could use to help you guys out on the water. And yeah, Skinny Water's out. And Dragon Tails Fishing.